They're a good bunch out here. I'm glad Trump's here at the moment. You know, it's like Daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off. You know, so I think
Yes, Libras are melting down that Mel Gibson and others are referring to Trump as daddy. When you take a look at this, Mel Gibson, I'm glad Trump is here. It is like daddy arrived and he is taking his belt off. Marvin Harrison, Tucker, Brian Donald, Mel Gibson, what kind of daddy issues do they all have that they are obsessed with referring to Trump as daddy? I don't know why this offend them this way. This is not the only person I saw. Mm, Before we even go into that clip, first take a look at this video.
Most importantly, thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us, not just the folks in Palisades, the folks in Altadena that were devastated. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during, I don't forget that, and I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together to get this speedy recovery.
We will. We're going to get it done.
What do you think Donald Trump's team did with this? Why do you think they did this?
Did what, Kate? You see the governor and the president. The scene I'm saying, they're shaking hands. They're being respectful to one another.
That's why I'm surprised. The lead up to it was
nice
everybody's in the dark. They're not getting along. You know, he had extended an invite for Adam Schiff to come with him. So said Adam Schiff. Then Donald Trump says, absolutely not. I'm not inviting that guy. It was like the lead up was all the fire and flame. And then it was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, well, a lot takes place on the plane ride out there, right? So a lot of advance work's done. And look, what's important is the president's there. He's meeting with the people. It doesn't matter whether Gavin Newsom's there or any other politician's there. What matters is the president's there to see the people who are affected, who are displaced, whose houses were lost, right? And see how the federal government can help those people reestablish their lives and get back to some level of normalcy. It is a terrible tragedy what these people underwent. And President Trump is there to see that firsthand. It's not a political photo op. I know people think it is, but it is really for him to get out there, see firsthand, let the people know that the federal government's going to stand behind them, that FEMA is going to be there to help. I've gone through this here, Kate, in Southwest Florida with hurricanes. Yeah. As you remember, Hurricane Ian destroyed my neighborhood, my community here. It's a terrible feeling. I've not been in a fire, but you want to know the people are there to help. And I guarantee the people on the ground there tonight, they are just happy to see President Trump there, Democrat, Republican, Independents. They're happy to know the federal government's going to be there to help them out.
Yes, this happened few hours ago. I didn't report on that. President Trump and LA Mayor Karen Bass-Parr on live TV. Trump tells her to stop taking so long. This part we have all been waiting for. Trump, I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them. Also, you can do everything within 24 hours. But and if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. We think they can go back in a week. Trump, that is a long time. A week, I will be honest, I watch hundreds of people standing in front of their Lord and they are not allowed to go in. That is what we're talking about. Trump stood up to her and made it clear this is what we actually want to see. When you take a look at videos I've put out here, a lot of people said, oh, maybe they want to sell off land. Someone wrote their plan was to slow rule the permit process until all the homes owners are forced to sell their property for pennies because they can no longer afford to pay the mortgage.
We're bringing our city departments together so that people don't get caught in the loop of going from one room to the next. We want them all to be in the same room so that you can get busy rebuilding ASAP. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And we will clear the lots. Absolutely. In the city and in the county. We are working together. Both levels of government are working in unity.
Months? Is it like we that's the answer that we got, and that's what we're all hanging on?
Yes.
So if you're telling us now faster, is it 6 months? Is it, I mean, all of our lives, rents, all this stuff is...
I don't love a lot of people in Hollywood. I'm going to be blunt, but you're three of my favorite people out there. I've been living through these wildfires. You read about hydrants that don't have water. You read about cutting firefighters' budgets. You read about reservoirs that are empty. I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
Well, it is. And this confluence of events coming together, there are those who say, hey, they must have done it on purpose. I won't go that far. But if they didn't do it on purpose, I think they certainly facilitated it. And my heart goes out to all the other residents. You meet people all the time who've lost their homes, and you talk and commiserate and buck each other up, and everyone's putting on a brave face. They're a good bunch out here. I'm glad Trump's here at the moment. It's like Daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off. So I think he'll get some results here quickly. And as far as being an ambassador goes, I think looking at tax incentives, I know Newsom gave some tax incentives, but maybe not enough because it's still not working. And there are other things that offset that. I mean, I had to shoot a film for one day in LA, and it was cheaper for me to take the whole crew and fly them to Europe and shoot for 3 days, lodge them, fly them, everything, than it was to shoot one day just down the road. So there's something wrong there. And I think there are solutions. I know Arnold tried to level the playing field years ago. He couldn't do it because there were obstacles. He tried, though. They're a good bunch out here. I'm glad Trump's here at the moment. It's like Daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off. So I think.
Yes, watching CNN the other day, they said Mel Gibson is moving around and spreading misinfo about what is happening in California. When you take a look at this clip, he actually said something that made a lot of sense. Like, these people contributed to what actually happened. He has some things to say, but because of, he can't say them. Looking at Maher, he didn't even hold back calling out the mayor and these people. When I looked through last year, Maher said, "Oh, Gavin Newsom can run for president," but now their tone is changing.
Last week, a lot of people lost their homes to the fire. This week, a lot of people lost their gardeners to ice. And we're not out of the woods yet with the fires, right? They came up again. Some of them came up so quickly, the mayor barely had time to book a trip. I need to vent about this fire shit on Friday. Yeah. And luckily I have that. Most people don't have a place to vent as much, although I guess they all do with the internet now. But rough, I need a drink. Yeah. I was really looking forward to this, really looking forward to talking to you.
It was a pretty insane moment. You had no idea how to even think about the situation. Like that kind of destruction rolling through an urban environment, like you just wouldn't even imagine it would just bulldoze. You think fires in the mountains, sure, like just burning entire towns that you wouldn't associate with hills.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even start because I'll wind up talking for 10 minutes on it because it's all that's in my head right now. And I don't want to do that because I'm enjoying this so much. And I'm going to assume that we are going to live past this moment. And when we do, I do want to keep living. I mean, that's another thing that I love is California with all its craziness. Yeah. And boy, there is a lot of craziness. And this city, which has been my home for 42 years. Mm-hmm. I moved here in 1983. Mm-hmm. I'm dug in. I looked at moving once to Miami when we had fires in 2020, mm-hmm. and I could not see the sun for a week, blotted out. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was like, I'm not going to live like this. But you know what? When you're my age and you've been here this long,
I driving here, I wondered what your mindset would be, whether you were going to dig in or...
Yes, this is the third segment. Maher is melting down, partaking to the whole fire. When I look through all the clips I see on social media partaking to this, I didn't want to report on this again, but Trump appearing in this area actually awakened me to report videos partaking to the fire again. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. For people who usually ask why I put videos behind here, it is for the algorithm. Yeah, for these people to recommend videos, you need to have your. So understand, you can end here. You must not watch the video to the end.
Where awful things have happened. So, and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are functionality in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and I flew here last night.
You getting water to areas that need water
For the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about James.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some.
And then we watch news or talk to my friends.
Of all the calls you get from your
Gotta spend a minute on the Obamas, or is it because there's trouble in paradise?
I know the process.